Hey everybody, welcome back to Alien RPG. I'm your ghost Hachiman, aka Marty. My stalwart players are back for yet another session of San Tome. We will be playing Act 3. We will play about 2 hours of it, and then next week I will bring you another part of San Tome. So here we go. Please like and subscribe. Please thumbs up the video. Please comment below. All the interaction helps push this material out to the community, which is such a wonderful community of players. I love the people in the Alien RPG community. So thank you so much. So looks like the gang's all here because Andy's not going to be making it, unfortunately.
Okay.
Uh, so as a quick recap, last week you guys had come back and held a meeting in the galley and ran over a bunch of different ideas. And as you were starting to get things moving the right way, things started to go rather poorly. You had spiders coming out of the jungle that the Marines were holding off. You had spiders that had snuck onto the tractor that you had to clear out of the vehicle depot. Meanwhile, at least one had gotten into the ventilation system inside the main building and infected poor LaSalle, who's not LaSalle, Lacrosse, who's now down here in the main dorm with the doors sealed, two UBP Marines outside. And then you had the three Marines up here with Sotillo. The one here in the middle had a big thing of black goop spit on him, and he went down screaming and yelling. And when he came back up, he was something different. DeCowd, you're over at the docks. You were moving tractors out with some of the roughnecks into the dock area. Let's see, where is Gould? Gould is right there at the entrance to the vehicle depot. I believe you were getting not Marines, but excuse me, roughnecks together to put together some pumps and hopefully with some high pressure hoses to see if these spiders dislike salt water, but if nothing else, you could probably knock them back. Monahan had collected a sample off of the fallen Marine and ran up into her labs. So Tio, you're right there with your Marines, and kind of where we left off is when the Marines stood up, you shot him in the head, and his head jerked back when you shot him, and when he turned back towards you, you had shot him right through the eye, and he had some black crap dripping down his face where you shot him, and he made a terrifying hiss at you. Hiss or growl, perhaps, would be a better way of putting it. And that's where we left off. Pretty straightforward. Anybody have any questions before I deal out initiative cards?
Um, I did have one question.
Please.
Was I successful when I ran back to the warehouse? Was I successful in getting the bolt gun I was looking for?
You found a bolt gun and a cutting torch. I don't recall which one you had opted to grab.
Um, the bolt gun.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So just make sure you put that on your character sheet. It's a one weight item,
Okay.
and I would say, I'd say I'll give you a D6 here. Wow. All right. I'll give you 2d6 and pick the higher of the two. There we go. Um, so you were able to you managed to grab a handful of bolts to go along with it because it's a one-shot weapon.
Right.
So you have 6 bolts that you can load into it. Reloading it is a slow action.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else questions before we start the fun?
Oh,
Please.
I'll get it in my sheet in a second. But what the characters? You said it's
Oh,
a one-shot action. What's the damage on the bolt gun?
it's 0 bonus, 3 damage, and it's armor piercing, and it has a max range of short.
Okay.
All right. All right. So we will shuffle the cards up really quickly here and see how things go. All right. So Tio, you're on a 9. Sorry about that. DeCowd, you're on an 8. Charles Gould, oh my gosh. Charles Gould, you're on a 10.
Oh my.
Yeah. Comrade Intendant Nostromo gets a 2. The NPC Marines are on a 1. And then the Freaks are on a 4 and a 5. So that gives us the Marines first. The Marines are looking at their comrade and what he's turned into, and rather frantically, one says to Sotillo, "Order, sir."
Kill it, you idiot!
All right. So one is going to, they are at this kind of range. They're better at close combat than they are with a weapon. So first one's going to pull out. He's going to pull out his combat knife, and he had 1 success. Except there's one problem. This particular freak is wearing combat armor. That's interesting. I didn't think about that because he's wearing UPP armor. Well, he stabs his former comrade. He does 2 damage. I would say, seeing the success, the other commando is probably going to do the same thing because they couldn't hit the spiders at point blank range no matter what they did. It won't load the character sheet. There it goes. He also hit, and the freak is going to make his armor roll. And wow, didn't have any successes. So they've managed to seem to wound this thing pretty badly. It's got blackish blood bleeding from its wounds. Your former commando. So Tio, you are up.
I thought I went last.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You did go last. I'm sorry, Nostromo, you're up. I got my wires crossed. I apologize.
Right. So let's see. I've got a pistol. I guess since I'm out in the courtyard now, I can see everything that's going on. The Marine that's next to me here. What's he doing?
He's probably heading over to
Okay.
assist
Well,
the colonel.
yep. So I'm going to do the same.
Okay.
I'm going to head over here.
All right. You could move a you could use your fast action to move kind of just behind the colonel.
Right.
That would put you in close range, which
Okay.
would leave you an action left if you wanted to shoot or something along those lines.
Oh, perfect. So like right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Then I'll try my pistol on the freak.
All right. No penalties or modifiers. Just roll away, sir.
Okay. It's ranged or close? It's ranged. Right?
Ranged,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Where'd it go?
you had a success and a
Oh, there we
face
go.
hugger. Roll your panic, please, sir. 6. So you were holding it together. Of course, you did panic on a ranged combat attack. So, in your hurry, you went over and blasted away, and emptied your clip. However, you did hit. You did do damage. That pistol does 1 damage armor piercing, correct?
Correct.
All right. So His adjusted armor is an 8, which makes it a 4 for the armor piercing, and no success. So
Nice.
put a round into him.
All right.
He's looking a little worse for wear. Unfortunately, now it's his turn.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now it is his turn. There are, there are four targets within reach of him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a d4, starting with the commando just above him and going clockwise around, see who he goes for. So he goes for the commando just below him on the map. Someone roll a d6 for me, if you would, please. Let's see here. Charles Gould rolls a 5. All right. Okay. Where's my close combat?
I haven't figured out if a high number or a low number is good.
Usually, yeah, usually lower is better. He reaches towards that commando just below him on the map, and tries to almost encompass the poor guy in kind of a bear hug, but the guy breaks free out of it, so he's okay. However, the freak also goes on a 5. So, Gould, why don't you hit that d6 for me again?
Oh,
I think he goes for the same target. Unsuccessful the first time. A 6.
all right. I'm not going to roll. One of you other guys roll from now on.
All right, so he knocks this commando down and falls on top of him, and the former commando turned freak, his mouth opens way larger than what it's supposed to be, and all this black just fluid, this goo just comes pouring out of his mouth, accompanied with kind of a vomiting sound. Just pours all over this poor Marine's face.
Oh, man.
Alright. Very good. And if I can find the character sheet of the Marine. There we go. Okay, so as you know, the Marine is kind of, he's wide-eyed and open-mouthed in surprise as this happens, and as this stuff starts to come, he tries to turn his face away in time, but some of it got in his mouth, it's getting in his eyes, he's yelling and screaming through it, screaming in Russian or Spanish about it burning. He's probably not in a very good way right now, putting it mildly. All right, number 8 would be Martin DeCowd. You are way over at the docks.
Oh, where'd my character sheet go? I hit escape key and now my character sheet took a hike. There it is. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure because it doesn't look like there's any fighting here. Do we hear the sounds of fighting, I'm assuming?
Well, and no one's... well, actually, Nostromo fired a round, so you definitely heard Nostromo. You definitely heard a pistol go off.
And I think before we quit last time too, wasn't there some Marines on the periphery firing at stuff?
Well, yeah, that was these guys that are over there right now engaged with the freak. They were shooting at spiders out at the edge of the jungle.
What's best? Either kick this into overdrive or run over there to help, but I'm not exactly equipped for fighting. What's this?
I feel your pain.
Yeah, I really don't know what to do. I don't want to leave you guys, but I also, where are you guys going to go? How much work do we have to do to get one of these flotation platforms out there.
Oh, it doesn't take long. It's you've driven it out to the docks at this point, so it'd be as simple as making a heavy machinery roll to switch it into amphibious mode, and then just driving it right in.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, um, you're referring to the tractor, right?
Correct.
And we were working on like establishing some kind of decking on pontoons so that people can have
Y-
a safe place in the middle of the water. Do
yeah,
we have anything like that set up?
never
You never got
really
a
got
chance.
started. Yeah.
Okay, well then that makes up my mind for me. I'll get out of the vehicle and start running for the problem,
Okay.
the fighting.
All right. So
You should just go over there and drive the vehicle over them. Out in the open. I don't know. Do we have any like forerunners or anything like that? And
not specifically, no. You just pretty much have the tractors and some power
Tractor.
loaders.
right,
Are they
I'll-
out? Are everybody out over there is outside?
Correct.
All right, maybe I will drive over there.
Okay.
Sorry,
So-
we cheated
No, it's
there,
because if shit's going south, you guys have nowhere to go.
All right. So you're going to
Right.
actually stay in the tractor and
Yeah,
drive
why
it
not?
that way. All right, that's fine. So we'll put you right about there, if that works for you.
Works for me.
All right, Colonel Sotillo, you are on a 9, so that comes to you.
I will pull my pistol and shoot him.
All right, very good. I believe you already had your pistol out, because that's what you fired last round. So you have your free shot before combat started. You're at engaged range, which okay. Well, there you have it. Roll your
Wow.
panic, please. A 5. So you were holding it together. You did. The pistol does 1 damage, and you've got 2 stunts.
1 damage and 1 knockdown.
Very good. I like it. 2 damage, and the Norcom pistol is armor piercing. So, your shell actually ricochets off of his UPP armor. However, you still had the knockdown stunt. So yeah, he kind of falls over to the left off of the guy he just vomited on. So he is down on the ground. And then that brings us to Charles Gould. Oh, and Sotillo, just so you know, your 2 Marines that are inside, one of them radios over to you. The medic we trapped in the main dorm, he seems to be trying to beat down the door.
If I've got a free action to reply, I'll just say, secure him, keep him secured. If he breaches, kill it.
Yes, sir. All right, Gould.
All right. I'm going to step inside the depot. Now, we had collected all the roughnecks, so how many of them are still here, and how many ran screaming in terror at the spiders?
There's DeCowd had gotten some of the roughnecks to start moving the tractors outside, but there's still probably a half dozen guys in here.
All right.
Getting things together, getting things ready.
Okay, I'm going to ask them, how are we doing on pumps and fire hoses?
One of them kind of looks up at you. Well, we're working on it. I'm getting this put together right now. He calls over to one of his buddies and said, "How's the hoses coming?" He goes, "I'm bringing it right now. We can get this all hooked up in the next couple minutes."
All right, you guys understand what I want. I want you to take suction from the saltwater bay, and I want to have at least a couple fire hoses, and I want you guys to knock down any spider you see, big or small, with the fire hoses.
So we got it.
Okay.
All right. So we will move back to the top of the round, which gets us to the Marines. This guy is in a little bit of a bad way. He actually, yeah. well, let me start with the guy up top. I'm just going to go there. So we got a couple different Marines that are right there that are not infected. We've got two, in fact. Seeing that one had such good success with his combat knife the first time, he's going to go for it again, I think. I think it just kind of makes sense. One success against the armor. One success, so he's not able to find an opening. The other Marine is going to fire his Norcom pistol since it's armor piercing. I probably should have divvied up the Marines to you guys to make my life a little bit easier, but I didn't think about that. Oh well. Oh wait, that was wrong. Sorry. Well, either way it was successful, but he could have had more. Alright, very good. Oh, man. Oh, wait a minute. Yep. No, alright, so he puts the freak that you had knocked to the ground, Sotillo. This Marine right here puts a round right into his head as he's laying there on the ground, probably starting to get up, and it just falls to the ground and doesn't move anymore. Now this guy is not having the time of his life, would be the best way to put it.
Might be the last time of his life.
And all right, so this guy stands up. He has kind of cleared a lot of the crap off of his face, but you see the telltale signs of infection. There's his eyes are clouding. The whites of his eyes are clouding black, and some of the veins in his face are starting to look black, starting to get black striations in them. So, and that actually puts us on Sotillo.
Sotillo.
Oh, I'm sorry. That puts us on Nostromo. I keep getting out of order. I apologize. I don't know
No,
why I
that's
keep
okay.
doing that.
I was kind of wondering. Okay. So I have an empty pistol, right? Like I say,
That's correct.
shot it all at him, and we've got the Marine that's closest to command. That's the one that's starting to twitch.
Correct.
Okay. Boy, I really need to know. I really need to know the bosses off planet what the hell's going on here. So I'm going to run to the nearest terminal I can get to, which I think is in the Barracks Armory. Right?
Yeah, that would be back that way.
Okay, so I'm going to make my way over here. I don't know how far I can go. I think.
Yeah, we'll get you right outside. Each square is 10 by 10 meters, so we'll get you right outside, kind of fish processing,
Okay.
right in that ballpark.
Okay.
All
Where it all
right.
began.
What's that?
Where it all began.
Yeah, where it all began. All right, so, all right, and then I've got the guy inside the main door. That's right. Oh wow. All right. He is the Marines inside. The Marines were inside. Report over to you, Sotillo, that there's not much stopping him. He's definitely making his way through the door. We're ready to fire as soon as he comes through.
Make sure you keep your distance. They prefer close combat. Otherwise, kill them, frag grenades if possible.
Alright, so with that information, I think one moves up to the top of the hall. I need to design these maps a little bit better to work with Roll20, but anyway, and the other moves down to the southern part of the hall so that they've got a little bit of distance from where he might come through. And then that gets us to what? Martin DeCowd? Martin DeCowd. So you're in the tractor, kind of right there in the center square. looking through the viewport, you can see that that whatever they were fighting appears to be dead, but it looks like one of Sutio's Marines is not looking too sharp.
All right. I guess I'll pull up to the scene.
All right.
So the one who's looking too sharp, has he turned into one of these monsters yet?
Not yet. Not
Or
saying
the
he's
other-
going to. You know, you don't know. You've only seen it happen a couple times at this point. But yeah, he's definitely infected. Do you guys see me pinging the map right there?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I do. All right. I mean, it's under control, so they don't need to lift out. So I'll just roll down the window. Is everything okay? I guess I'm speaking to Colonel Sotillo.
Yes, everything is now under control. One of my men got wounded. Can you get him inside to clean him up before this infection takes hold?
Is he safe to approach? I mean, is
Well,
he
he's
gonna?
not fighting us yet.
Maybe we should
can find-
take him into custody in case he does his
Right.
Personality transplant maneuver.
I will kind of call the other two and get them to bind his wrists and stuff, and then make him safe for transport.
Where should we bring him? Medical is compromised, yeah?
Any place with a medic or running water so we can at least clean him off.
The lab, maybe?
Sounds good.
All right, I will get out of the tractor and help this wounded guy
Okay.
to the lab.
All right. That will be just fine. So. And,
As the Marine moves past me, I just whisper to him, "If you turn, eat LaSalle first."
and were you sending the Marines with them with Decaud and the wounded Marine as well? Or are they
Just one.
Just one. Okay. All right. So we'll move him over there. All right. So that's fine. And that puts us on your turn, Sotillo.
Hold it. Remind me.
That was sorry. Go ahead.
All right, you did Nostromo, you did Decaud. Now it's Sotillo.
Yeah. Right, now it's Sotillo.
Yeah, I should be last.
You're next to last. I've got Gould
I'm
last.
last.
Yeah.
So, what is there left to do?
What is the? I'm sorry. What was that?
What is there left to do in combat rounds?
You know, actually, well, probably not a lot, except that Lacrosse is in the main dorm trying to beat the door down. So, you know, if you had, you know, any movement or anything along those lines you wanted to do.
Yep. So I guess we'll just double move it to there, and just if there's any comms available, tell them we're on our way.
Okay. I didn't see your icon move.
No. Where are we going to sell labs?
Right, I see your icon. I'm sorry, which direction were you moving? They were moving to LaSalle Labs. You're going with them, or I'm confused. I'm lost.
Where is the other freak? Main dorm.
Yeah, he's down in the main dorm. Yep.
Sorry, it was just the
Okay. All right.
zoom out, zoom back in kind of issue.
I got you. Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then that puts us on Gould.
And I'll take my Marine with me when he can.
Oh, perfect. He didn't really do anything on his turn, so it's not really an issue for him to kind of go with you.
He must be a private.
All right. I see those guys heading towards the labs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna move over there.
Okay.
Guys, you cannot take this contaminated individual into the labs. We have to keep the lab secure. We can't go in the lab. We need to go somewhere else if we're going to shower him down. Usually, there should be a decontamination shower or something in the in ore processing or the warehouse. Let's go that way instead. We can't contaminate the lab.
Okay. All right. And
Well,
that
who the
what's
guys that were there were who was with the contaminated guy? There's a Marine,
there's a Marine and then there's DeCowd.
Ducowd. What do you say? What do you say, Martin?
Makes no difference to me. Wherever you
Okay.
want 'em. LaSalle Mining Ops is where we're going now.
Yeah, we're gonna head to mining ops, and then we can go through there to either the ore processing or warehouse. There's got to be a.
Well, you've got a large door right there at ore
Oh yeah.
processing that
Okay.
you can go right through.
There should be an eye wash station or something. There's always an eye wash station in a facility.
And as a side note, so Tio, when you made your way inside that hallway, outside the main dorm, you can see that the door leading out of the main dorm, which the guards had, which your guys had locked with Lacrosse inside, it has been, it's just malformed and misshapen. Something has been beating on it and tearing at it, and you can actually see slightly through into the main dorm. It's probably one step away from being completely torn off of its out of the doorway, off its runners. And top of the round would get us back to the Marines. I need to make a quick roll for one guy. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So the Marine that you guys were escorting up towards LaSalle, he starts he starts getting very agitated. If you speak Russian, you understand him. I think. Well, Gould and DeKalb both speak Russian. I think. I know Gould does.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
speak Spanish, I think. Let me check. Oh, Italian.
All right. At any rate, I'll translate.
Okay.
What's
Uh,
he say?
he's it's a mix of it is a mix of Russian and Spanish actually, so you understand part of it. But the gist of it is he seems to be saying that he feels much better. He's absolutely fine. You guys don't need to continue to escort him or anything along those lines. He's okay, and he he's struggling against the restraints they put him in. Almost like he's trying to break his wrists apart out of the restraints, but they're holding. The
All right. Talking's free.
talking is free. Yep.
All right. So I'm going to translate what he's saying,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to say, let's get him to a eye wash station anyway.
All right.
Try and wash him off, and don't take off those restraints.
All right. So the Marines move there to outside the door. They will need you to open the door on your turn. These three Marines down outside the main dorm, I think they are. I think they're just taking an Overwatch action with an aim on the door that is almost beaten in. Seems to make the most sense to me. And Nostromo, what are you up to?
I am going to continue to go to the barracks, and once I make it there, plan is to contact higher.
Okay. All right. It'll use both your movement actions to get in there, so that's fine. So you can actually start that next round.
Great.
And I'm a bad man. I just realized something. So let's see. One moment, I apologize. So Tio, since you're standing right outside the door, as you had come into that hallway, there was the beating going on the door, and you could tell the door wasn't going to hold out that much longer. And the the sound has stopped. Okay. The sound has stopped, and then you hear someone from inside the main dorm, a human voice, scream in agony. It's kind of oh no, no, stay away, and then just a scream as something happens to them. But the screaming doesn't cut off; it continues, and that gets me to Martin DeCoud.
Is there progress in getting this guy to the showers?
Yeah, I'll streamline that a little bit because you guys are on slightly different rounds, but DeCoud and Gold, you're both on the same plan of getting him into ore processing to try to get him cleaned off. So I'm just going to. I mean, Gold, your obvious move would be to move to the door, get the door open, because you have access, and none of them do, because you need LaSalle access to get in, which would allow the commando to bring him in. So yeah, Martin, if
did you say Gould or DeCoud?
Gould. So Martin DeCoud,
so
then if
here's-
you're just following in, that's fine. Go ahead.
All right. So to open the door, does it require my card, or does it require can I punch in a on a keypad a code?
It requires your card, but you dropped your card, didn't you?
Correct. I don't have my card, and now I just realize I don't have my card. Right? Because my character didn't know he dropped the card
Yeah.
until just now when I try to use it on this door.
Oh,
I don't have my card.
That's a thing of beauty. So that puts you all right outside the door. All right, on your turn, I'll let you try to when we actually get to your turn. I want to handle Sotillo real quick because she's a 9 and you're a 10. But I'll let you make a Comtech roll to try to get in. Otherwise, you'd have to go find your card. Sotillo, so you're on a 9. The pounding on the door has stopped. You heard the someone shouting from inside the main dorm and the screaming. What would you like to do?
How easy is it to get the doors open from this side?
Well, the door, because it's been all beaten on and wrenched and messed up, it's rather jammed. But it doesn't look like it would take much. You might be able to knock it the rest of the way off. You're a pretty tough chick. So
In that case, the idea is to open the door and get out of dodge.
okay, all
while
right.
yelling.
That's fine. So I would make it. I would say it's a slow action to try to knock the door the rest of the way down, and then you could use your fast action to move away.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and make your close combat roll. 2 successes and a panic. Roll your panic, please. A 7, which is there's no friendly PCs in range of you, so no one really sees the fact that you're twitching. Yeah, you like the ultimate badass that you are, you step right up to the door. Well, you can narrate it. How do you knock the door down?
It's more of a kind of back against the wall and just power kick it like they do in wrestling, and it'll just go flying, and then I'll just go, "Hey, freak, over here!" And then I would just run as fast as I can.
All right. Perfect. As you do that, and the door goes flying inside with a huge clang of metal on the floor, you see what you perhaps all forgot. and that was that poor Billy was inside the main dorm because Lacrosse had set it up as a temporary medical, emergency medical facility, and the freak was literally on top of Billy's chest, and it looked like the his chest was it looks like his chest was almost caved in, multiple ribs broken, and he was just pummeling the freak was just pummeling Billy's head over and over and over and over, and it was bad. It was terrible. And as you say that, it stops what it's doing and it just kind of looks your way. Yeah. All right. Perfect. Very good. I like it. I like it. All right, so Gould, would you like to try to contact the door open, or would you like to see if you can find your card?
Um, I'm gonna try and contact the door first because I'm standing right here.
Perfect. All right, go ahead and make your roll, please.
All right.
Two successes. You have a stunt.
I guess I'll do it in half the time.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. All right. Well, in that case, you know what? I'll make it a fast action at that point because normally it would be a slow action. So I'll make that a
yeah.
fast.
Okay.
All right. So that gives you a slow action still, but yeah, you get the door open. And then I'll let everyone move inside.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
we'll just
what they were
step in.
headed to do.
Okay.
All right. All right. Perfect.
Oh,
Go ahead.
while they step in,
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell them I gotta go see if I can find my card. I gotta go see if I can find my card. So I'm gonna use my slow action to move out
Oh.
and head back toward the vehicle.
All right.
Um,
That
vehicle
will that will put you right about there. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
One moment. I'm sorry. All right. Sorry. Work interrupting. Right. Top of the round. Top of the round gets us to the the NPCs. Um, Gould, you can see that the that roughnecks are you've got roughnecks connecting hoses. There's guys running out towards the bay, running lines and everything. So that's all coming together. The I think all the UPP commandos here down in the outside the main dorm, they're still on Overwatch with an aim on the door for whatever comes out.
Yep.
Then we've got these two guys up there. I need to make a roll for him because I forgot to do it at the end of the round. All right. Commando. Character. Stamina. There it is. Okay. He's hanging in there. All right. So these two locate, like you said, a wash station, and he's trying to help clean up the other commando, who is, DeKalb, from your point of view, is still rather agitated and doesn't seem to be extraordinarily cooperative. Of course, he's probably zip tied or something like that. His wrists are zip tied together, so he's not. He can only resist so much, and that brings us to number 4, which is the other freak. He uses his turn to move into the open doorway, which will allow all the UPP commandos to shoot. So that would be short range, and they were aimed, so they're going to get a +2. I'm just going to make 3 rolls really quickly. Yeah, Nostromo, you, of course, oh my god. Did you guys see that? Are you seeing those
No.
dice rolls?
I didn't see it.
Huh. I'll send anyone a screenshot just so you don't think the GM is being a dirty, rotten liar. The first guy had 8 dice, no successes. Second guy 8 dice, no successes. Third guy 8 dice, 1 success.
Wow.
So that was unfortunate. Fortunately,
At
this
least
freak's
he's not wearing armor.
yeah, he's not wearing armor exactly. All right, so Tio, you see all your guys open fire on the freak as it comes through the door, and I don't know if it's the stress of the situation or just they weren't whatever it was that they pepper the whole area with rounds, but only one seems to find his mark. As what used to be Christopher Lacrosse takes a hit, and that was the freak's fast action. So now I need to decide which way he's going to go.
Isn't that just like the movies, though? How many movies have we watched where guys who are supposed to be good at something can't hit the broadside of a barn?
It's a true statement.
Bullets flying everywhere. Nobody's getting hit.
Hey,
Stormtrooper
look at
Academy.
Stormtroopers, exactly. So he uses his other fast action to move there, and then he moves on a 5, so he gets to attack.
Of course, then Navy SEALs execute 3 headshots simultaneously on a bobbing lifeboat. So there's the movies, and then there's real life.
All right. Well, he's unsuccessful in attacking the commando, so we can move on with our day. That is a number 8, which is Martin DeCowd.
I'm looking to stuff this commando into a shower stall.
Yeah.
Have my way with him.
He's resisting pretty badly. Make a close combat roll, would you?
Sure.
He's very aggravated. Something's bothering him.
Oh my.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. Make your panic roll, please. A 6. You're holding it together, but he's not cooperating at this point. He's saying something to you in a hodgepodge of Russian and Spanish. Obviously, you've been around the colony long enough to recognize the languages, but you don't understand what he's saying. But he's as the whites of his eyes are turning completely black and black veins are starting to spread down his neck. He is just not.
That's it.
He's not
I'm
having it.
taking 5 feet back, stepping 5 feet back, and I'm going to let this other commando do what he's supposed to do right now.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we'll just move you to
By
the other
by
side.
loudly encouraging him with the words, "Shoot him!"
I should have a soundtrack from Jurassic Park ready from the very beginning. Shoot her.
Shoot her, clever girl.
So Tio, yeah, it is your turn, and you're getting a report in the radio from the other commando that Yuri's condition is going south. Pick random Russian name number 1, Yuri.
This day is just not going her way. She'll just respond with kill anything that seems to be turning, and then she'll yell at these guys, also giving an order. Remember your training, short control bursts.
I like it.
With a quick action.
Yeah.
So they get the command, and then I will shoot with my pistol.
All right. So make your command roll. Nice use of field commander. I like that. That's great. 2 successes and a panic. Roll your panic. A 6. You're holding it together. So Tio is a badass. So all right. So that'll be 2 successes on pretty much anything they do. All right. Very good. Or 2 bonus dice, and then go ahead and take your shot. Close range, no penalty. I mean, you're in the same zone, but he's at the end of the hallway, so no penalty. Just take your shot. 2 successes, which, of course, you didn't panic, so you could push that roll if you wanted to, or you can just take it where it sits.
I'll just take 1 damage and 1 drop.
Okay, so knock him prone and do a point of damage.
Yes.
All right, very good. It does have an armor rating of 3, but your pistol is armor piercing. So, all right, very good, very good. So you pound around into it, and the impact knocks it to the ground. And Gould. So you've moved into the square. You want to try to locate your card?
Well, that's what I'm gonna spend some small amount of time looking for it. So my plan is to retrace my steps back to the vehicle depot and also look inside the tractor we came back on,
Okay.
see if it's in there. So, um,
So why don't we do this? We'll make it a fast action to move you back, basically to the just outside the door of the vehicle depot, and then use your other action to make an observation roll. Two successes with a panic. Roll your panic, please.
oops, there we go.
A 9, which is actually a 7, right? You've nerves of steel.
Correct.
So you've the nervous twitch, but there's no one around you to see it. So, in terms of your observation rule, yes, you do find as you're crossing the center square and you're moving towards the depot, you see it. You dropped it. It looks like right outside the door. So you get there. On your next round, you'll be able to pick it up as a fast action.
Okay.
All right. Back to the ones, which are the Marines. All right, so I'm going to start with up in Oh wait, I'm sorry. I apologize. I need to make a roll for the guy that's up there. He's got to make a sickness roll. All right, he's hanging in there. All right, so DeCald, the Marine that you're with, two Marines up there in ore processing, and one of them, it said something into his radio and got an answer back from Sotillo, and he. Yes, perhaps he would be down with the sickness. Um, uh, he says something to Yuri, and he takes aim and fires with his pistol right at Yuri. Which that will be that'll be a total -1 because it's close combat, but he aims, so it's +2. All right, so he hits Yuri. Okay, and then these three guys down here.
Seeing any of your rolls?
It's because I clicked something to hide my rolls on certain things, and then it just hit them for everything. I just need to turn that off.
Oh, that's okay. I trust you. I didn't understand why it suddenly we were seeing them, then we weren't seeing them.
Yeah, there were a couple rolls I didn't want you to see, and then
I got you.
and then I just forgot to turn it off. There we go. All right, so the three Marines up in the hallway, or in the hallway, down in the hallway outside the main dorm. One is going to I was trying to figure out where that was going, Bob. All right, so all right, so they're both going to aim and fire, and they get +2 dice from Bob's command roll. They're at engage range, which is -3, so it's a total bonus of 1. So I'm going to roll those two guys. And you guys should have seen those rolls this time.
Yeah.
All right, very good. And then the guy down at the bottom of the hallway. Oh my god.
Jeez.
So Tio's beginning to think that maybe her Marines need to spend more time on the firing range. But with all the firing, the freak does take 1 point of damage. And then that brings us to Nostromo. What would you like to do? You're sending a message?
I am. I don't know if I need to make a contact for that or
No,
not.
you've already hacked the terminal, so I'm not going to make you roll contact for that.
Okay, I've got one. I'm going to send you in a whisper.
Oh, okay, very good.
It won't affect further gameplay, so you can move on.
Okay, all right, I will move on then.
Well, it might, but not right now.
We can at least have the freak do what he's supposed to do. Oh my gosh, that's no good whatsoever. Well, it's no good for the players. It's fine for the evil GM. All right, so Satio, you watch in terror as the once lacrosse freak knocks this Marine down on the ground, and unfortunately, you know what he does. The freak vomits black goo all over the poor guy. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second to read Jim's message. I apologize. Yes, you did. Let's see.
Okay.
All right. All right, very good. And now the freak moves on a 5. All right. After vomiting black goo all over that poor Marine, he throws his head back and just roars this horrific challenge, for lack of a better way to put it. So Tio, you're the only PC in range. You have to make a panic roll when you hear it. Ooh, an 11. So you have to seek cover. So on your next action, you have to move away from danger and find a safe spot if possible.
Right.
So your stress level goes, does go down 1, and there's no friendly PCs in range to have an increase in stress. So, all right, pardon me, my all of a sudden having issues there. So that brings me to whom? That brings me to Cow, does it not?
Yeah.
Yep. All
I
right.
think so. I think I'm going to hit this dude in the head with my maintenance jack.
All right. Very good. So that's an improvised club, so it's 0 bonus, 2 damage. Make a close combat roll. Yep. All right. So did you want to push the roll or leave it be?
Well, I think I'm going to leave it.
Okay. All right. Very good. He does get his armor. Oh. Okay. All right.
At least they're consistent.
Yeah. So you rear back in pure Sammy Sosa style and just clock this guy right in the head, and he goes down.
Nice.
He is not dead. He is, well, I guess technically, would you roll a D66 for me?
Sure.
You're aging yourself with the Sammy Sosa reference. Bob.
Yeah, well, I think we all qualify, unfortunately. Let's see. I
You're
probably
right.
should take a minute to put the critical injury tables in here. All right, so when he falls down, you hear a crunch or something along those lines from his shoulder. He falls hard on his left shoulder. So he's unconscious. He's not dead, but he's unconscious. And that was a slow action. Technically, you have a fast if you want to do anything with that.
No.
Okay.
I mean, there's not like an alarm button anywhere that would let people in ore processing know that they should get the hell out.
Well, there was nobody in ore processing because they'd called all the
Okay.
Marines out, or the Roughnecks out. So
Okay.
there was nobody else in there.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, perfect. So Tio, you have to run, don't you?
Yeah, I just run to wherever you think is appropriate.
Well, based on the situation, I imagine you'd probably be go running into the family aux storms. That would make sense to me. Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. And then Gould, your turn, sir.
What was the answer to my question?
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. Oh, yes, absolutely.
All right. So I'm still outside the depot. The guys are doing their thing on the pump, so I'm going to I'm gonna speak into my radio, and I'm gonna whisper what I'm saying.
Okay. You also use a fast action to pick up your card, I imagine.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All right. So while you're doing that, well, that puts us back to the top of the round, I believe. Um, Decowed, the okay, let me send a quick response to that. Decowed, you're standing you're standing in the ore processing. You just knocked this guy out. He's unconscious, but he's starting to move again. Even though you just knocked him out, he just went down. And there is not an inch of exposed skin that is there's not an inch of exposed skin that has not got black striations, and the flesh is just starting to look gray.
I am running out. He's gonna explode.
Give me 1 second.
He's an exploder. Get my ass out the door. Fuck, this is terrible.
And I need to send. Gosh, there's too many whispers. You guys have so much going on. All right, give me 1 second here.
And it's all your fault as GM.
It is all my fault as GM. I didn't realize I needed an associate GM for this game. I should have thought about that when I wrote it.
You need a player whisperer.
That's all right. Yeah, that would make life a little bit easier. All right. All right. So top of the turn, which gets me to what the NPCs gets me to the NPCs.
All right. So remind me. I'm looking at two Marines up in ore processing. One of them is the guy that might explode, right?
Right.
And the other one is the Marine that was with Decowed.
Correct.
Okay. I just wanted to understand.
Not a problem. The Marine that's there. So Decowed, as you're exiting ore processing, you hear a shot go off from a Norcom pistol behind you in ore processing, and this Marine comes out, and he looks at you. He says something you don't understand what it is. So Tio, you get a report over from your radio. Yuri is dead. I had to kill him.
He died for the UPP. Long live the UPP.
I like it. Nostromo, you're up.
Okay, so I'm guessing my transmission went off okay?
Yes. Yeah, I sent you an answer.
Oh, you did. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. Oops. Excellent. All right. So I'm going to exit the barracks.
Okay.
I really don't know what's going on.
You do
My
hear all the
character-
gunfire from inside.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. There's gunfire from inside. Anything in the barracks to reload with?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of clips there.
All
Absolutely.
right. I'm going to gather up any larger firearms than the pistol.
There is you can get an AK-47 if you like. It does more damage, but it doesn't handle as well, and it is not armor piercing. But it is also full auto, so you've got some options there. Or you can grab ammo for your pistol, or you can do both. Totally up to you.
I will do both.
All right, so we'll just make a. Why do I keep rolling runs? Rolling ones. All right, so you managed to grab an AK-47 with one reload, and you grabbed 3 more clips for your Norcom pistol, and that'll picking all that up will take your turn.
Okay. Sounds good.
Very good.
Thanks.
Not a problem, sir. All right. Oh, I did not have the UPP Marines fire at the Freak. That's my fault. Let me handle that really quickly. Seeing that Freak has been wounded, this guy, and that he's got kind of an optimum range type thing, he is going to take aim, and he is going to full auto his AK in a hope to just take this thing down.
Wow.
All right, so he does 4 damage. He does 4 damage, and the AK unfortunately is not armor piercing, which no armor successes for the Freak. And then the other guy, I think, just aims and fires. He doesn't full auto. He should have full autoed. He failed. And then the guy who just got vomited on stands up as a fast action and fires. I don't think there's really not much else he can do.
Somebody got vomited on?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah, this guy right here
Okay.
got knocked down and black stuff got vomited all over him. He misses as well. Alright, so the Freak is going to well, nobody's there to see that, so let me just play it out from my end real quick. Okay. All right, very good. Up to DeCoud. You are outside ore processing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've lost track of the order. Is it DeCoud or Nostromo?
Nostromo is first among the PCs, but I accidentally skipped a couple of the Marines, so I had to go back for a moment.
Oh, you're
Yep.
resuming. Okay, I was
Yep.
trying to understand.
No, it's okay. DeCoud.
I think I'll get back to trying to get the work situation in the docks going. So I'll run to the truck.
Okay. Which we had parked somewhere around here.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so you run to the truck, climb inside, fire her up.
Yep.
All right.
Mount up.
And so Tio, you can act normally now.
Okay, take a deep breath, shake it off, and I want to run back and shoot.
All right. When you run back, you see that the Freak was standing on top of this guy right here, had beaten him to a pulp. he is dead. And you can take your shot. So it's close range, no modifiers. All right, roll your panic, please. 5. So you're holding it together. You're no longer in the throes of a panic, so it doesn't move up 1. You're holding it together. However, the panic does empty your weapon. I'm sorry, was that the AK or was that the Norcom?
Norcom.
That was the Norcom. That's right. That's what you had been shooting. So your Norcom is pistol is now out of rounds. But the good news is, I think. The armor roll didn't happen. Oh, there it is. Oh no! Unfortunately, your round doesn't seem to inflict any damage.
Norcom is armor piercing, is it?
What's that? Yeah, it does, but it's got 3 natural armor.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Gould, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna go in the depot and try and grab one of the roughnecks who doesn't seem to be as busy as the others.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask him to hustle his butt off to the front entry to the facility, the front gate, and watch the tree line, the forest line, and the area outside the front of the gate. And if he sees any spiders, to hustle his butt back, screaming to any one of the team that can hear him.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to
Because I realize we've because of all the hoopla, I don't know if we have anybody watching the front.
All right. So the guy you grab is he's actually he is a UPP roughneck.
Okay.
So I'm going to have you can make manipulation or command, whichever's better, and at a -2 because he's UPP, not LaSalle.
Okay.
Roll your panic. All right, holding it together.
6 minus 2 is a 4.
Yeah, so you're good. Wow, that was a min roll too. That means you actually rolled a 1 on the die. So for a moment, you can kind of see his there's a slight moment of defiance in his eyes because he's UPP and he doesn't have to listen to you. But then, he realizes it's probably for the good of the colony as a whole. So yeah, he nods and said on it, and he runs out.
All right, before he runs out, I want to emphasize I'm not asking him to take on anything. If he sees, report.
Got it. No problem.
Right.
No problem. Top of the round? Top of the round. So, this guy full autoed, and so his rifle is out. So he is going to switch off his rifle. He's going to draw his pistol, and he's going to take a shot at the freak with his pistol. It is there we go. Submit.
Wow.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, there's
He
just
should have been using that all along.
yeah, there's just no way the freak can survive that. So he puts a round into what used to be Chris Lacrosse, and he goes down, twitches once, and stops moving. All right. I think we can kill combat at that point. So yeah, all the threats are eliminated at this point. This guy's coming over this way to keep an eye on things. And then, so, yeah, just tell me what. We'll just start with Sotillo and make our way from left to right. Sotillo, what would you like to do?
I'll grab my Marines, restock in the barracks, and then just go from there.
All right. As you're so that would have you guys moving this way. As you're moving over there, you see that this guy, he seems to have probably torn off the sleeve of his uniform to wipe some of the crap off him, but it's just from the look in his eyes, he looks just like all the others that have gotten infected at this point. Um, Martin DeCowd, you last we saw you had climbed into the tractor. So are you driving it back to the docks and
Yes.
doing your work on that?
Yes.
All right, perfect. We'll have you working. Gould, and this kind of happens all simultaneously as DeCowd. As you drive over there, you can see that all the other tractors are all lined up on the docks. They're getting switched into amphibious mode like we discussed. There's other roughnecks that have connected hoses to pumps, and Gould, a roughneck walks up to you and says, Mr. Gould, I think we're ready to go. We're ready to test everything now.
Okay, test it, make sure it's working right, and then um, I'm looking at the map to see how the best way to deploy
Okay.
might be.
Well, as they probably just step right outside into the main square with the hose, and you can hear the pumps running. They're electric driven, connected into the colony's power supply, and he. One of the two there, there's two of them there. One's right at the front, the other's kind of bracing behind him, and they start to turn it on, and it looks like there's good pressure. It's spraying across the colony center, and then the pressure just starts to drop off and stop. And
Pump still running? Can I still hear the pump running?
the pumps are not running. On top of that, because it's at this point it's late in the day and it's starting to get dark outside. The exterior lights have all come on the colony, illuminating everything. All the colony lights go out, and then emergency power kicks on. There's a soft orange glow across the colony proper, but main power is out. Nostromo, you're down in the barracks with Sotillo. She comes walking in with her Marines and starts rearming and resupplying. What are you up to?
Do I notice the one Marine with the torn sleeve?
Yeah, I think it's safe to assume you can see what's going on there.
Okay, so my first priority, since I recognize that the substance is infectious and that this guy is probably infected, I am going to try to get him to self-isolate along with Sotillo. Not self-isolating, but I want to, let me back up. Sotillo already went. So I'm gonna try a manipulation roll with this Marine.
Okay.
To try to get him to self-isolate without any conflict.
Just as you get ready to do that, you get that's when the power goes out. Do you have a hand radio?
I
don't think you do.
think I dropped it actually to pick up something else.
I got you.
That was a while back, so no, I don't.
All right, so Gould, you have a hand radio.
I do.
And then Colonel Sotillo's got comms built into her armor. So, Gould, you get Monaham's voice over the radio, and she says, "Get everybody together. I think I've done it. I should have I believe I've got a working serum here. We might be able to fight this thing." And then, after a moment, you hear Sotillo. You hear Monaham's voice. Colonel Sotillo, power's down, but I've got. Can you hear me?
Can hear you loud and clear.
This is Monahan. I think I've figured out. I've isolated the pathogen. I think I've got a working vaccine we might be able to fight this thing with.
Base news all day.
Who's first?
I'm sorry. What was that? What'd you say?
I was just thinking in my head, who's going to go first? Okay, so the Colonel. Of course, my character doesn't know this, but all right. So I'm gonna. All right. So I have a question before I do anything.
Please.
I'm looking at the map, and I don't see any place in the facility that shows where our power production is.
Okay, yeah, that is something that is off the map. I mentioned it way back at the beginning of the first game, so no big deal. The fusion reactor is actually underneath the colony. Okay, it's pretty much smack dab under the center square. It is in a lead-lined room that has 2 access points. It can be reached either from command or it can be reached from the vehicle depot. It typically does require Nostromo's access, or at least an access code given by Nostromo. Like if someone needed to go there to do maintenance, he would have to give them temporary access. But his access will also get down into it. But it's no mystery. There's literally a hatch right in the vehicle depot that has a a COM padlock on it that opens up, and there's a ladder that goes down into a passage that leads to the reactor.
All right. Well, it's obvious to everyone that something caused the power to go out, and we're on emergency power.
Correct.
So I would expect Nostromo to be marshaling. So I'm gonna tell the Roughnecks to hang right here, stay together. That we might have something else for them to do in a few moments, and I don't want them to get lost. And I'm going to start moving towards the. I'm going to start looking around because I'm not sure I know where Nostromo is. So I'm going to start looking around. And anybody I see on the team, I know DeCowd is back there with the other Roughnecks, so that would be my first move, would be towards DeCowd, and then I'm going to move around the facility looking for people, telling them the news that the Roughnecks, I'm telling them to congregate near the vehicle depot. The team, anybody I run into from Nostromo to DeCowd or whoever, I'm telling them what the doc said.
All right. So we'll move you over to DeCowd first, and you share that information with him.
Yeah.
All right, DeCowd.
Yeah, Martin. It looks like the doc has got some type of antigen or vaccine for this, whatever it is, isolated. So I guess we got a couple things to do. We got to get with the doc and see if she can vaccinate us, but then we got to get the power back up.
All right, vaccines first, I guess, huh?
Yeah, well, first we got to let everyone know. Do you know where Nostromo is?
No.
Yeah, I'll interject on that. DeCowd, you probably, as you were driving around, and then when you went into ore processing, based on how the time frame went, you'd have seen Nostromo hightailing it back towards the barracks.
Yes, I did see him. He was heading towards the barracks.
Sorry for the retcon. It all got a little crazy for a minute, so.
Where are we meeting the doc?
Well, that hasn't been decided yet. I assume that I'll contact her on my radio to ask what the next move might be. Meanwhile, I'm going to head towards the barracks. But if you hang here in the vehicle depot, then depending on what we do, we'll grab you on the way back.
Okay.
All right, Nostromo
So
and
I'm going to head
Sotillo.
towards the barracks so I can tell Nostromo.
All right, perfect.
Although Sotillo should be, well, I'm not going to game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Sotillo and Nostromo, what would you two like to do?
Let's see. Satio's comms are inside her armor, so I probably didn't hear what.
I would have relayed immediately.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say we need to get to the lab, get this Marine treated. Does he look like he's starting to freak out?
Not yet. No.
Okay. Yeah. So I told that to Sotio, and Sotio, we got to get him to the lab. We got to get him inoculated, but we got to watch him really close. He might flip out. And I'm just saying this as quietly as I can to Sotio.
Sure.
In full agreement, and we get the other Marine to watch his buddy, and then we move out
All right. All right.
after refilling everything we need.
Sure. Absolutely.
And if Comrade Intended Nostromo doesn't have armor on, we will get him a set of armor.
That's a fantastic idea. I got to drop something, I'm sure.
Yeah, an armor would be a weight one. Because the AK was a weight one if you picked that up, and then the
Right.
and then the reloads are a quarter per reload.
Yeah, I'm lost in my encumbrance. I would guess I'd have to drop the motion tracker. That's the heaviest thing besides the.
Let's see. What's your strength? Your strength is 4.
Yeah.
So you have a max encumbrance of.
No, strength is 3. Yeah.
Oh, your strength is 3.
Yeah.
All right. So you have a max encumbrance of 6. You have
So
a max
it's 1,
encumbrance
2,
of
3,
6.
4, 5. Well, if I count each one as 1 plus the ammo, yeah, I'm probably there.
Well, the Norcom pistol is a half.
Okay.
The motion tracker's 1. That's 1.5. The AK is 1. That's 2.5. The watch is a small item. It's worn. It's not really an issue.
Yeah.
And then you had how many? You had how many reloads? You had 1 for the
1.
AK and 3 for the pistol. So
Right.
you're that puts you at 3.5.
Oh shoot. Okay.
Yeah. So you've got some room. You could add the armor.
Okay, I'll do that then.
All right. Armor. You can put an armor rating of 5 on your character sheet. All right.
Thank
So
you, Colonel.
you guys go heading out of the barracks with the command with the infected Marine in tow, correct? Or that's
Correct.
yeah. And as you do so, you run into Charles Gold as he's coming in from the docks, and Monaghan comes over to your radio again and says, "I've got Nisa working on more, but at this moment I have 6 inoculations. I've got 6 doses." What's up with the powers? Anyone looked into that?
We're working on that. We're going to work on that next. You've got 6 doses. Have you or Nisa taken a dose?
Not yet. No.
Okay. Where should we meet you?
Let's just meet right outside. Actually, is anybody infected currently?
Yes, we have 1 Marine that's infected.
All right, I'll let you in. Bring him into the labs. We'll put him in one of the containment boxes.
Okay. So Nostromo and Sotillo, I think that we've got. I think we should get this Marine inoculated, and then we can watch his progress and see how well this vaccine is going to work. So let's hustle over to the lab. The plan is to inoculate him and then put him in one of the containment boxes so that we can watch and monitor, and we'll see if this vaccine is any good. Meanwhile, Nostromo, we got to get somebody figuring out why the power went out. Don't you think?
Agreed. who would be the engineer
So
for the?
since you have a badge to the fusion reactor, maybe you could take a roughneck or two with you, and you go to the reactor. I'll help get this Marine inoculated.
Agreed. We can
Okay.
do that. Reactor. I'm not sure what that is.
He said
It's
he
underground.
said it's underground in the main area. But didn't you say there was a hatch going down to it in the vehicle depot?
Correct.
Okay. Yep. That's where I want to go then.
All right.
Okay, and when you're there, apprise DeCowd of what we're doing.
Will do.
All right.
All right, so let's get all these parts moving the right direction here. So Gould, long story short, comes all the way to LaSalle Labs with Sotillo. Sotillo, you've never been inside this building before because only Monahan has the ability to actually open it. The Marine is still he's got it looks like he's got a very mild fever. He's sweating a little bit. But he seems to be hanging in there. All right, so Nostromo, you grabbed DeCowd. Who should I deal with first? Should we deal with the labs first, or?
How about the labs?
All right, we'll deal with the labs first. So, as you come up to the door, Gould, she uses the manual override to get the door open because again, you guys don't have main power, and Monahan, Nisa's there, and she's over against the side of the room. There's not a whole lot she can do apparently at this point. Monahan has a TX9 injection gun, and she's got a vial with a liquid loaded into it, and in her lab coat she's got 5 more of them. She points at one of the containment rooms and says, let's just get him in there. I'll inoculate him, and then we'll just monitor and make sure that we're good to go here.
It's good. The only thing I'd first do is get him out of his armor and get all his weapons off of him.
Yep.
And then put him in.
Good idea.
All right. All right. So she injects him, and you guys close him up in there. And okay. All right. So you're in a hurry up and wait type situation. So I am going to cut over to the vehicle depot. You've got DeCowd and Nostromo down there, right?
Yep.
All right.
Yep, correct.
All right. So what's the plan, gentlemen?
Have we gone down to the reactor yet, or
No, not yet. You've just gotten into the depot.
Okay, so I'll let DeCowd know everything that's going on with Sotillo and the Marine, infected Marine, and just tell him we got to go down to the reactor, see if we can get this thing started.
Careful.
Of course.
Could be full of bugs down there.
Oh yeah.
All right. So you swipe your access card through the comm pad, and there's a click and a hiss as the hatch is released. And it's spring loaded. It's a big heavy metal hatch, but it's spring loaded, so it's easy to open. And you're looking down a service ladder, the rungs planted right into the corridor, the plastic steel corridor wall. It's pretty dark down there. There's just a very basic orange emergency lighting, and you know that the reactor room is about 20 meters down that passageway, and then you have to access another door to get inside.
Is there's still a couple of roughnecks with us, right?
Yeah, there's a couple guys that are just hanging out right there in the vehicle depot because they were told to.
Got it. I'm gonna tell one of them to, guard the depot. Not guard because they don't have weapons, right?
Well, they've got improvised weapons, things like bolt guns wrenches and.
You know what? No, I'm going to ask both of them to go down there with us.
Okay.
And I've got a flashlight. I think, yeah, I got a flashlight, so I'm going to go first
Okay.
on the ladder.
All right. So you're going to go first. Yeah. What's the marching order? Because it's a single file passageway.
Right. It'll be me, Roughneck, Decowed, Roughneck.
Okay. That'll work. That'll work. So as you head down this passageway, and it's something that's been tunneled out, and then a plastisteel corridor was built inside. So your shoes clank on the floor, that type of thing. Your flashlight up ahead shows that the interior door, which is a security door, is actually leading to the reactors, actually open. And it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to remain closed at all times unless it's under active maintenance,
Shit.
which doesn't have to happen real often on a fusion reactor.
And there's probably just a couple key cards to open that, huh?
Yeah, honestly, the only key card in the whole place that opens it is yours, and then you have the ability to assign temporary access to someone who has to do maintenance.
So, who or what the hell opened that?
Would you two make an observation roll?
Yeah.
One success for Nostromo.
Sharif, you got to roll too. You're on silent. Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't realize that I went in.
Oh, I think you were. Yeah, because you joined me in the vehicle depot, and I told you what was going on, and I assumed you were.
Okay, my bad. I thought I was working.
Yeah,
on
sorry.
the
We
dock.
should have had a real conversation.
No problem.
Well, you don't have to go in if you don't want to. You take a look right down there and go, I've seen this movie. I'm not going
Well,
in
he may not know how to work the fusion reactor, but he's very good with heavy machinery, so it makes sense that he should probably go down.
there. All right. Go ahead and make your observation roll, please.
Okay, sorry about that. It's
That's okay.
a misunderstanding of what was going on.
That's not a problem. Oh, well,
Wow.
okay. Roll your panic, please, sir.
Yeah, this isn't starting very well.
A
Ooh.
9. Drop an
Maybe
item.
maybe I won't be down there for long.
Wow, that
away.
escalated quickly. Let's see here, Decowd, what do you have? What do you have that I can make you drop?
Cutting
you don't
torch,
have- you don't
maintenance
have a whole
jack,
lot, do you?
high beam flashlight, and $400.
We'll roll a D4 and ignore the 4. Yeah, as you're going down that passageway, you drop your flashlight, and when it hits the floor, it breaks open. Your
Okay, so-
flashlight is gone, sir. It is broken.
Removing that from my inventory.
Nostromo, you hear as you're approaching that open door from the fusion reactor room, you hear a rhythmic clanging of metal on metal. It's like a blacksmith hammering something. It's just this rhythm, bang, bang,
Oh, hell.
bang,
Okay.
coming from inside.
Well, door open.
The door is open.
This is a fusion reactor, not fission.
Correct.
Okay, so that's still not good. Run. I'm going to run towards the door and ready the AK if I have those two.
All right.
Moves.
So as you move up to the door, you can see inside the room. The fusion reactor room is, it's a pretty big room. It's 20 meters by 20 meters, give or take. And you see the source of the banging. There is a roughneck standing there, and he is banging on one of the control panels, and it's all torn up and messed up. He's been banging on it for a good minute with a maintenance jack or a giant wrench. He's clubbed the shit out of the controls and the terminals, which would explain probably why the power's gone down.
Has he turned?
Well, make an observation roll. A success. Okay. And a panic from Martin DeCowd. Go ahead and roll your panic, please, again, sir. A 4. All right. So holding it together. When you drop an item, that's right. Your stress goes up 1. Pop your stress up 1, DeCowd. As you guys look at him, he he is, of course, it's pretty warm down here, especially with the power out. There's no airflow, but he is sweating profusely. And he kind of stops for a second, and he turns towards you guys, and he sees you all. He see Nostromo and DeCowd, and he says, "Intendant, Comrade DeCowd." He points at the control panel. He goes, "There was a spider, but he bit me, but I got him. I got him good. See, I got him." And he points at the control panel that's just all destroyed. He's got black striations in his neck and his face. His eyes have a black sheen. He's sweating profusely.
Jesus, I just realized we don't have a Marine with us.
He's not full-blown monster
You do
mode,
not.
for lack of a better way of putting it, but he doesn't look good.
Okay. I will. I'm going to try to. Oh shit! Let's see. Let me think what the character do. Well, he's all about leadership and command, so I am going to command him to step away from the control panel, drop his. I think it's a door jack or something.
Yeah. Big
Yeah,
wrench
drop-
something.
Yeah, drop your wrench, step away from the control panel, and see if that works. Can I roll for that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I will give it a try.
Wow, look at that. 3 successes. All right.
Please step away from the nuclear device.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, Armageddon. He's riding the nuclear warhead. Get off the nuclear warhead. All right. He immediately just, he's still got the thing up in his arm like this, and he immediately just drops it, and it clangs to the floor. And he looks at you and he says, nuclear, what? It was a spider. What? I don't. And he kind of looks, and it's almost like you can see him, his perception clear for a moment as he looks around and realize that he's done a whole bunch of damage. He goes, I don't even know how I got down here. What's going on? I don't feel well. It's really hot down here.
Is there another lockable room inside the reactor space, or no?
There is not really. There's the passage on the other side of the room. There's a door that leads to the passage that goes to command. Which, of course, you've got command secured from the outside, so you could try to put him in there.
Is that door lockable?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try to manipulate him into going through that door and then shutting it behind him.
All right. Very good. Very good. Very good. All right. He says, okay. As you, you're telling him we're just going to come through here, what have you. He goes, okay, and he starts to turn towards that door, and then he just grunts, and he kind of holds his insides, and he's got oh god, and he drops to his knees, and he's it hurts, it burns. All right, so back to LaSalle Labs.
Damn it.
Meanwhile, back in Mayberry.
You can call me a terrible person. It's okay. I'm accepting of it. So you guys are in LaSalle Labs, and this Marine that you've got in containment, you guys are watching him. Monahan is watching him very, very closely, and just nothing seems to be happening. nothing really seems to be happening. Nothing's changing. Uh, after a few minutes, he gets very restless and he just kind of starts pacing. The containment room's not very big, right? It's probably a meter by 2 meters, that type of thing, just big enough to shove
Like the
somebody
shower.
into. Yeah, exactly. And he starts to get rather restless and he's pacing back and forth. Just you know, and he kind of he he says in Spanish to the colonel, uh, Colonel, get me out of here. I'm fine. I'm okay. Can you just get me out of here?
Deep breaths, Marine. We will get you out there in due time.
All right. I don't understand this. I need to be out there. I need to be in the fight. And it's like his agitation levels just steadily increasing. And he
I
says,
just look at the doctor and doctor, can't you do anything for him?
she says, well, we've got the anesthetic. We still have some of the anesthetic. I could hit him with some of that if you that should calm him right down.
Made from the spiders.
She says yes, but it's made from the spider venom from the normal spider. She points at another container, a containment room that has a whole bunch of those spiders just crawling all over each other. She said we've been up until all this happened. Nisa had been working on creating more of the anesthetic. It would certainly calm him down.
I just look at him and say, "Harden up, Marine. You got this."
He says I really
That's
just
the order.
I really want to get out of this, and he says just let me out, and he actually walks up to the clear plastisteel and he actually punches it, and holy shit, it actually gets a hairline crack in it.
Oh, that's not supposed to be. That's not supposed to happen.
That can't be good.
We ready weapons.
All right. Monahan says I don't understand. We tested this. I mean, we haven't had a chance to test it in a live host, obviously, but this should work. This should work. She pulls out another vial. Maybe if we hit him again. I don't. Or maybe at least. And Nisa's walking over. Do you want the anesthetic? Maybe we can calm him down.
I would prefer not to, but your call, Doctor.
Monham says, "Well, he's definitely got something's going on. I don't know if it's as a result of the vaccine or if it's a result of the infection, but he's clearly got increased strength. He shouldn't be able to crack that like that." I imagine while you guys are,
Well,
what's
well,
that?
Doc, what do you think? Do you, how fast do you think this vaccine was supposed to work?
It's
Doesn't it take a while to start producing antibodies against whatever this
well,
is?
we couldn't test it in the human body. I created the substance that I collected. It is a mutagenic pathogen. It's very similar to a virus. I was able to create a counter pathogen that should attack that virus on site. So it doesn't require the body to make antibodies. We tested it here in the lab, just in direct tests, and it seemed to neutralize the pathogen just fine. But in the case of being inside a human body with a circulatory system, it might just take more time. You all jump as the commando screams, "Get me out of here!" and he slams into the plexiglass again, and a big 3-foot wide crack splits across it.
Doctor, what do we do?
She says,
Um,
"Go ahead, Gold."
Doc, I think we need to calm him down first. Then we can decide if he needs another shot. Just my opinion.
She says, "I think you're right," and she takes the injection gun and she actually puts the spider venom vial in, and says, "Let's just you guys may need to hold him. See if this has the same effect it did on Billy, even in his elevated state. This should calm him right down. At least bring some clarity to the situation."
What do you think, Colonel?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, I'll try and hold him. What about you, Colonel? You gonna help me?
I'll get one of my Marines and I'll ready a pistol with the other Marine.
Well, we just have the one with us, right?
Right. Yeah, because the other guy's
Well,
inside.
So I'll get him to hold and I'll ready my pistol.
All right. Gould, what's your total close combat?
My total close combat is.
It's not going to beat an 8, I guess.
Oh heck no! My close combat is a 4.
So I'll give you the option. I can let the commando roll the close combat with a +1 die from you, okay?
Yeah.
As help. But he's an NPC, so if he fails, he doesn't get to push the roll. Okay?
I understand.
All right. That's the way we want to go with it?
He's got 8 dice,
He's got 8 dice. He would have 9 with your help.
and I
Can
have.
Can I
And
also
I have-
command him?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Bob.
Can I give him a command? Can I issue a command? Tell him hold down that Marine.
Absolutely. Make a command roll.
Oh, that's a good idea. Great
That's
idea.
a great idea. Make a command roll. All right, roll your panic. Holding it together. 2 successes. So then we're going to let the Marine roll with 1 bonus die from Gould and 2 bonus dice from Sotillo's command. So he gets 11 dice
Wow.
and 2 successes. And the other commando is going to resist him.
If he resists, is that agility or is it?
No, it's
close
just opposing close combats.
Okay.
All right, so they're kind of in the midst of struggling with each other. Monaghan darts in and hits him with the injection gun.
Sega give.
Yeah, give him a sedative.
Sega give. Sega give.
All right, and she after she hits him, she goes, "All right, it's clear, get out." So the other Marine pops out, lets go, and they jump out of the containment box. He's at this point he's probably just laying on the ground. He's not doing much of anything, shaking his head a little bit. All right.
Now,
Go ahead.
I'm going to ask because, I walked with him. I walked with these guys all the way across the compound to the lab. He felt ill and he was sweating and stuff, but he didn't have any striations, right? Or did he?
He had, yes, he did.
Okay, so have they progressed since the shot? Have they declined, or are they the same?
Well, since the original shot,
The vaccine
shot,
vaccine shot.
nothing had changed.
Okay.
Nothing had changed.
So, okay, so I have to say, I don't remember how much the doc knows or remembers about the progression. But I'll just say, Doc, I think it's a relatively good sign that it hasn't progressed. It's not necessarily better, but it's not worse. Maybe we just need a little more time before you give him a second shot.
She says, "All right, we'll give it
Now
some
that
time."
he's sedated a bit, we can watch a little more time before we jump in with a second shot. What do you think?
She says, "All right, we can do that. Would you two make an observation roll, please?"
Which two?
So Tio and Gould, because you're up there.
Okay.
Oh, Gould, you better watch that stress. Roll your panic, Gould. Wow, man, Gould is hanging
6 minus
in
2
there.
is a 4. Okay.
So, just after you say that, Monaghan kind of leans towards the glass a little bit and looks through and says, "Well, that's fascinating." And as the two of you look, and this is, Gould, this is probably what causes your heart to leap into your throat for just a moment. The black striations in his face and in his eyes seem to be clearing, but at the same time, they
But
have turned, yeah, they have turned a bright red, as if the the blood vessels under his skin, you know, were highly oxygenated blood, or even they're just, you've never seen that before with this with what's going on here, which definitely is enough for you two to gain a point of stress.
Of course it is.
And
The
as what's that?
I the when you say red eyes, is it normally the white part is
Normally,
red?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's turning reddish pink, and then the blood vessels in his face and on his exposed skin, instead of having that blackened striation look, they're turning red. Which, of course, if you look at a blood vessel on your arm, it looks more blue than anything. And and his head kind of goes back up against the wall, and he's sweating profusely, and he starts to go into some sort of convulsions. And I think that's a good spot to break, don't you guys?
Yeah.
Since it's 12 o'clock. So why don't
Yep,
we
that's what.
take 5 or Thanks so much for watching, guys. This is where, even though we continue to play, this is where I'm going to stop the video. Next week, I'll be bringing out the next part, another 2 hours of gameplay, give or take, for San Tome Act 3. Thanks so much for watching. Again, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment below. We will see you in a week.